congrats on your new film, Clifford the Big Red Dog. Jack, I watched it with my niece who's nearly 4. She's now convinced that dogs grow to the size of Clifford.
I know, yeah. I watched it yesterday with a load of my friends and their kids, and a lot of them have said today that there have been requests for 10-foot red dogs, like red-coated Labradors. Like, it's going to be a nightmare for parents because they're going to take their kids to see this movie and then be straight off to Battersea Dogs Home.
I couldn't bear to tell my niece that dogs don't grow to that size, so I just left her and her wild imagination to kind of run with it. You know what I mean? I thought I don't want to spoil it for you. One of my
Wait till she finds out I'm not American.
Yeah. One of my favorite things about this movie was when Kenan Thompson popped on screen, because I was a massive Kenan and Kel fan growing up. So when I saw him, I didn't expect it. And I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. Did you watch Kenan and Kel growing up?
I did watch Kenan and Kel. And yeah, I'm a big fan of Kenan Thompson. He was great. He was such a fun person to work with. And he's like a legend. You know, he's done 20 years of Saturday Night Live in America. And he's this like master improviser. And most of that scene was just me and him like kind of larking around and kind of playing with it. And yeah, I then met him again because we did the Jonas Brothers roast together a couple of weeks ago. So I've been hanging out with him quite a lot. And he's a proper legend.
Oh my God, that is so cool. Jack, maybe he can get you in there to host Saturday Night Live. Wouldn't that be insane?
Yeah, that would be insane. Like, that's definitely something that's on my bucket list. So might have to wait for a few more movies until I get the call for that. But yeah, it's certainly something that would be a dream to do at some point in the future.
Well, you're well on your way, Jack. So I can definitely see that getting ticked off at some point in your career. Talking of the accent, Jack, I wasn't aware before I watched the film that you were playing an American. Did you stay in character like the whole time in American?
No, I didn't go full method. I mean, imagine if you had on Clifford the Big Red Dog, I'm going to approach this role in a method way and I'll be speaking in an American accent for the entirety of the shoot. You can't go full Daniel Day-Lewis if you're doing a film about Clifford the Big Red Dog, no matter how hilarious that would be. Maybe I should just say that. From now on, I'm going to say that. In every interview from this point onwards, I'm going to go like full Daniel Day-Lewis and claim that I did it in the actual method way, because that is how I do my craft. And this is all about my craft.
Definitely, because you want to be a big Hollywood star. So this is what you've got to do moving forward, Jack.
Yes, indeed. Indeed, I do.
Jack, I read that there was a lot of One Direction being played on set.
The main use of One Direction on set was that the little girl, Darby, had to do quite a lot of very emotional scenes. And for her, it was quite hard, like just on cue, to try and get into this really like sad, like emotional like state. And so that's where we used One Direction, is that whenever she needed to get upset or cry about the dog being taken away from her, I would just talk to her about One Direction's breakup and tell her that they were never getting back together again. And it did the trick. Like every time she was an absolute mess, like tears rolling out of her eyes. And that would be my advice to anyone that's ever working with a child star, is just find out whichever boy band they really like and then trigger them by talking about their breakup as much as you can when you need the child to get emotional.